Well, hey, Heather, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Paul. How about you?
It is a sunny day in the Northwest, and so it's hard to complain. And we had a really amazing January. So we're meeting here. It's February 1st, 2022,
Yes.
and things are rocking and rolling. And it seems like they're rocking and rolling for you as well. So love to get a
Yeah.
little update on what you've been working on this past week.
Well, it's been a busy time for us as well. So right now I'm focusing on starting to roll out training to other key members of the team so that we can keep pushing forward with ProShop. So one of the things I've done is Lacey provided me with a training tip work order, which I found was a huge success. And so I've created one for each of the two key members that I'm training right now. So in the president's role and in the operations production manager role. And I've tailored all the training based on the modules they need to know. So then that way they can kind of self-train without me having to sit there and watch them train. And then any questions, they'll hit the no-go and I'll come back and answer any questions. So we started that this week. So that's kind of a big step for us. And letting go me not being the only one doing ProShop. So it's exciting. Yeah.
That is such a brilliant idea. And to be honest, I've not heard of a company do that before. So for those watching, we issue a work order. It's the very first work order in every client system. It's called the TIP work order, the training implementation process. And as you know, it's broken down by all the different modules and features that you need to learn, starting with estimating and order entry and contract review and purchasing and planning and scheduling and on and so forth. But you're saying that and it's all based on obviously the architecture of the part record with all the requirements and a work order with the record keeping. So you have issued two more work orders, one for the two key people, and they're doing their own TIP process, but you've eliminated some of the operations that they don't need to get trained in.
That's right. So as we progress with ProShop, they'll learn more and more, but right now I'm focusing on their key jobs. So the president right now, he's helping with issuing of purchase orders for tooling. He's also doing adding of tools, and he's one more thing module he's been working on, estimating. I've focused his tip work order right now is primarily on those topics. And then later on, once he has that figured out, then he gets to go and learn more about like the scheduling, because he wants to know the overall business, but I need him to focus on where he needs to be right now. And he's just able to sit there and watch the videos and kind of have two screens going where he's watching the videos and working through it at the same time.
So is he watching both the canned videos that we ship things with, as well as the recording of you doing training in those modules?
No, no one's seen my training modules yet.
Okay. You're keeping those for yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I refer back to those when they have questions, and then I sound like the expert, so then I'll give them the answer.
Okay. And so it sounds like you could do the same thing with new employees in the future.
Yeah, so my goal is to set it up for the different positions. So if it's a machinist, it will be a work order for machinists. And then they'll be able to go in and it will be already tailored to what they need to know. And also I'm going to try and build on it for, scheduling of training for like how to change a bar call. Like I'm going to try and go into more detail so then they can see where they have to get to move forward. But from a ProShop standpoint, everyone's going to start off the same thing, like how to sign in, how to do the job tracking. That's all in the initial part of the work order, which is fantastic. And it's just right there.
Wow.
Makes things so much
easier. So more than the ProShop training, you're hoping to leverage that for general employee onboarding training.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because then I only have to do it once.
Yeah.
Right. One for every position, and then just update it once and roll out that part for a machinist.
Yeah.
And then update it as I need to, but it's always consistent.
And presumably you can leverage the training modules and link them in individual records into the TIP work order.
That's right.
So you can sign them off for ISO training and IS and
that's
CMS.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. I love it. I love it.
It's going to be all in one, Paul, one system. I'm not having any subsystems anymore.
That's awesome. Oh, that will make your QMS audits just an absolute breeze, right?
That's my goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And what else have, anything else you've been kind of working on the past week?
So my module that I'm focusing on this week is the equipment. So I've been spending time getting everything into ProShop from our quality equipment.
Okay.
And linking all the calibration certs and setting the calibration time periods so we get the automatic reminders.
Yep.
So it's been great because you actually physically go gauge by gauge and kind of make an updated inventory to know exactly where we're at. And
Okay.
I have my time periods for annual and every time we do for outside calibration. It's just all in one spot. And I found linking in ProShop to be much easier than my previous system. It seemed to be 10 more clicks on the other system, whereas this is just drag and it's there. So,
right.
And it does the thinking for me when I say I need it done every 364 days, and then it tells me when I'm doing it again, and I don't have to think. Whereas my other system, I had to manually go and look at a list and find out what's due for calibration this month.
Sure.
I had to manually do it, and this is going to do it for me. So huge.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I've heard that feedback, and particularly on the number of clicks. In fact, a client that came from your same system showed us once, and I think it took like 17 clicks to add a document. And for us, it was, I think, 2 or 3. So
it's,
and we want to make it one. We want to make it one. So
yeah, it's kind of, and they used to in the old system where you could select all and delete. And now you literally have to delete every line. So when I issue an order in my old system, it links every material cert that I've ever had in the system for, let's say, 3/4 inch 303. And so you have to delete all of the ones that you don't need anymore. And it's you have to click, and then you have to go over here and say, yes, I'm sure. And then go back here. And then it's so frustrating that I love ProShop. To me is different in that you go and pick the material and assign it. And here's what you have to choose from. Choose the one you want, as opposed to delete the ones you don't need. So,
well, that would become untenable after years of search.
It is sometimes I'll just click, and it's probably 5 minutes for every line item.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. Don't like it.
I'm learning stuff today too. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So getting, the gauges, one thing and you even mentioned last time that you were doing the cutting tool management first thing, and here you're doing gauges. Again, those are usually things that for some clients, it's more like an advanced feature that they decide to get into later. But I was just talking moments ago with another client, been on ProShop for 2-3 years, also a Swiss shop, and he said that they just had to overnight a bunch of tools at great expense. And he's like, yeah, if we had just done the tooling module earlier, we wouldn't have to do that. And they're still working on getting that done.
Yeah, we saw it to be a priority for us because everything's increasing in costs. So if we can find ways to minimize costs and carry enough inventory so we have what we need, but also make sure we can give the lead time, like you said, to order. So if I know that I use this insert all the time and I'm already down to 10, well, let's get it on order because we can do standard shipping, or if it's not in stock, it's not searching everywhere to find it. So for us, tooling, materials, inventory of anything we have, and organization is trying to save as much money as possible. So then we can offset the costs everywhere else.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but we have had more than one client tell us that as they really got into tool management, they are saving sometimes more than their ProShop subscription costs them on a monthly basis, and less overnight shipping charges.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't doubt it. And also, we haven't got quite to the organization part of our tooling. And I think once we do, we know we have a lot of tools, but I think once we actually organize it and do physical counts, we're going to be surprised how much inventory we're carrying when it's just a case of it was in the wrong spot, or, the production manager would say, I need this tool, and necessarily doesn't have time to go look for it physically. But if it was in the system, it'd be like, yeah, I got it, I'm good. Yeah. So I think we're also going to streamline what tooling we need, right? We don't need to have the same drills from 5 different companies. Which one works best? And let's focus on that.
Yeah. So. Cutting tools are obviously such a key part of a machine shop, that
Yeah.
I applaud you on really focusing on that aspect of things right away. That's it's going to pay a lot of dividends, I think, in the near
I think
future.
so. Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
think it's the only way to save costs, right? We
Yep.
got to try somewhere.
Yeah. And you'll undoubtedly start saving costs on not having to buy reams and reams of paper.
Yes, yes. I was explaining just before we went live here that I processed an order and it was, 34 pages of paper. And every time I'm printing it, and you have the plastic sleeves, and I'm almost out of plastic sleeves. And like, do you have more? I'm not buying more. We're going paperless. But it's the time, because by the time you process the order and then you print it and then you match everything up and put them in the sleeves, you just wasted half an hour. Whereas you could have just moved to the next task because it's already in ProShop and you're ready to go. So
Right.
That's my next challenge. I think mid-February I'm
Okay.
pushing. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to share about your last week, or should we let you get back to getting stuff actually done?
Yeah, I think that's been my week. I think that's been my focus, and then I'll keep going forward from there.
Well, thank you as always for sharing a little bit of your day with us. Appreciate you documenting your journey for everyone to see about how it's going. And yeah, thanks for being a client, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
For sure. Thanks so much, Paul.
All right. Bye, Heather.
Bye.